This is my student support system. Keep watching, keep learning.
The structural and functional unit of nervous system is the neuron, or it is also known as nerve cell. Neurons consists of axon, dendrite and a cell body. The function is to transmit the nerve impulse. Nerve impulse only travel in one direction in the neuron from the receptive area in the dendrites, then to cell body and then to the axon. Cell body. The nerve cell vary considerably in the size and shape, but they are too small to be seen by naked eyes. Cell bodies form the grey matter of the nervous system and are found in the periphery of brain and central in the spinal cord. So this is the structure of neuron. Here one part is cell body, so this is cell body. This is axon and these are dendrites. Axon and dendrites are extensions of cell body and form the white matter of nervous system. What is grey matter and white matter? These are will be discussed in the next lecture in detail. You should keep in your mind that cell body forms grey matter and the axons and dendrites they form white matter. Axons are found deep in the brain and in groups are called tracts. Not all axons, some axons are there and they are known as tracts. And at the periphery of spinal cord, each neuron has only one axon that conduct information away from the cell body. And dendrites carry nerve impulse towards the cell body, means they receive the information and axons pass the information. Axons are longer than the dendrites and sometimes as long as 100 centimeters. Large axons are surrounded by myelin sheath. This consists of a series of swan cells arranged along the length of the axon. Each one is wrapped around the axon so that it is covered by a number of concentric layers of Schwann cell plasma membrane. Between the layers of plasma membrane, there is a small amount of fatty substance known as myelin. The outermost layer of Schwann cell plasma membrane is known as neurylema. There are tiny areas exposed exolema between adjacent Schwann cells known as nodes of Ranvier. So these are Schwann cells and this is exposed area of axon. This is known as node of Ranvier, which assist the rapid transmission of nerve impulse in myelinated neurons. So these myelinated neuron and non-myelinated neurons are there in our brain or all over the nervous system. So the axon of nervous system of neuron which contains the myelin, they are known as myelinated neurons, and which do not contain the myelin sheath, they are known as non-myelinated neurons. Now classification of neurons. Neurons are of different types and there are two types of classifications. One is structural classification and one is functional classification. In structural classification, we classify neurons as multipolar neuron, bipolar neuron and unipolar neuron. And in the functional classification, we classify neuron as sensory neuron, motor neuron and interneuron. So what are these? We will discuss them one by one now. First is multipolar neuron under structural classification of neurons. Multipolar neuron usually have several dendrites and one axon. Most neurons in the brain and spinal cord are of this type. So here dendrites, many dendrites and one axon. So this is multipolar neuron. Bipolar neuron, they have one main dendrite here, then cell body and then axon. So this is bipolar. They are found in the retina of eye, in the middle ear and in the olfactory area of the brain. Unipolar neuron, they have dendrite and one axon that are fused together to form a continuous process that emerges from the cell body. This is known as unipolar neuron. Under functional classification, neurons are classified as number 1, sensory neuron. Sensory neuron or afferent neuron means incoming neuron. They carry impulse from receptors which are situated all over the body to the central nervous system. The sensory neurons from the receptors in skin, skeletal muscles and joints are called as somatic sensory neurons, and those from the receptors in internal organs, they are called visceral sensory neurons. Second is motor neuron. Motor neurons or efferent neurons means outgoing neuron. They carry impulse from central nervous system to the effector organs, means where it will work. The two types of effectors are muscles and glands. In response to impulse, muscles contract or relax and glands secrete the juices or hormones. Third is interneuron. Interneurons or association neuron are mainly located within the central nervous system between sensory and motor neurons. Interneurons integrate or process the incoming sensory information from the sensory neurons and then elicit a motor response by activating the appropriate motor neuron. Most interneurons are multipolar in structure.
My student support system. Keep watching, keep learning.